That's a wide body. That's a wide body. That's a wide body. That's a wide body.
Yo, Panther Nation, what's good? Welcome back to Carolina's Armchair GM. I am your host, CJ. All right. Thank y'all for joining me here early on this Saturday morning. All right. First of all, let me apologize for the other night. I had a bit of a family emergency come up back home, and I was waiting to hear on some news, so that's why I canceled the live the other night. PPP, unfortunately, he can't join me today. Can't join me today. I will get him back on here at another time. But I just want to say I apologize for that. Thank you for everybody for joining me out here today. I appreciate the love and the support as usual. All right. But okay, today we're going to be talking about what's next, episode 1. All right, so I'm going to go through the position groups for the Carolina Panthers. All right, one by one, and we're going to start off today with the offensive line. Okay, so this will be episode 1. So with that being said, please look forward in the future to future episodes. Okay, we're going to go through all the position groups for the offensive line. I'm going to give my thoughts and my opinions and what, me, okay, as an armchair GM. All right. I'm not a real GM. I'm not a player. I'm not a coach. I'm just sitting on my couch watching football. All right. But I do have an opinion and I enjoy expressing it. All right. So, all right. Now, like I said, PPP cannot join me today, but all right, and for all of y'all that watch my channel, y'all know I have affectionately dubbed PPP Pastor Bowberry. The Bowberry biscuits from Bojangles. All right, Pastor Bowberry himself. But I do have somebody else with me today, somebody that you all know and love. Okay, he is another pastor in his own right. All right, y'all welcome me in joining my good friend, my buddy, my family member, my cousin. I love him dearly. Pastor Trenches is in the building, y'all. What's up, Tone?
Man, what's happening? What's good?
Oh man, everything is everything, dog. What's good with you?
Man, I can't call it. Just trying to shake a little honey from the tree, as usual. As usual.
Hey, look, man, it's been a minute. I was telling you before we got live, it's been a minute since I seen your face, dog. Looking very brightly over there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Had to let the dome shine, Had to let the dome shine.
I feel you, cuz.
Yeah.
I feel you. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it here. A couple comments we got here. Dream58 says good morning. Good morning. Nick, Prowling Veteran, what's going on with you? He said, CJ. He said, got a new cut. Yeah, I'm trying something different here. Trying something different. He said, LOL. He said, Tony. All right. Man, I appreciate y'all joining me here this AM. All right, cuz.
Hey, I mean, cut y'all, but
go ahead.
Everything looks blurry on my end. I can't read nothing.
Hold on, let me see. Oh, give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, what about now? Well, I'm gonna give it a second. I had to turn the bit rate up. Give it a second and let me know. All right.
All right.
Okay. Get my train of thought back. All right. Okay. So the Panthers and one of the probably. Well, I guess it depends on who you talk to. One of the biggest areas of concern this off season. Well, leading into the playoff game, it probably wasn't that big of an area of concern. But but after Icky going down in the playoff game, he ruptured his patellar tendon. Okay, so now we have an off season where we have questions at left tackle. Cade Mays is a free agent. Okay, um, and you'll
Mm-hmm.
see in a second, all of our depth pieces across the offensive line, just about, are free agents as well. Okay. So before we get into the slides,
Right.
give me your general thoughts on the offensive line so far.
It wasn't that major of a concern to me going into that not in New Orleans, going into that playoff game. But
Mm,
after Icky went down, you know, it's the number one concern. It's the number one thing to me that has to be addressed because with that type of injury, I don't want to start laughing again, but we the way Icky is built, that type of injury is not
mm-hmm.
uh good for the knees. Let's say
Yeah.
let's say that. So now you that's a position that you can't just throw band-aids at until and hoping that the wound heals and you can return back to normal. I think personally that's something that needs to be addressed either in free agency with the good veteran pickup that has starter experience at the left tackle, not going to break the bank,
Mm,
or you go into the draft and with that first pick, you draft the left tackle. That's how dire of a need that position is because right now, if you just look at the Panthers on paper, what we currently have, Yash Nyman is good to come in and that can be serviceable for 2, maybe 3 games. I
mm.
wouldn't want to hitch my wagon on the back of Yash Nyman being uh, the starter for possibly 2026. I
Okay.
just wouldn't. And with Brady Christensen coming back, we've already had a sample size of what that looked like with Brady Christensen at tackle. Um, not it's really hard to say what he's going to look like coming back, but
Mm,
he's injury prone.
yeah.
The times that he has played left tackle, he just looked average. And the front office will have to ask themselves, are they comfortable with him or Yash Naman playing extensive time at left tackle, and will that hamper the progression of Bryce Young?
Facts. Okay. I
There,
got you.
there, there- there's a lot of mitigating factors that will go into that decision and how they tackle it this off season. I think they already picked up Icky 5th-year contract, so that's 17 million that he's
Ooh.
guaranteed next year. I mean, 17 million is not a lot of money. I mean, it's not.
It is when he
It's
ain't
not a lot.
playing.
Yeah, but I mean, the 5th-year option was picked up, but
I
before
know.
that, and there's nothing
I
that they
know.
can do about that now. So yeah, that's 17 million. It is what it is. But you do have opportunity to um to add to that position and possibly spread that out over another rookie contract,
Mm,
for the next 4 or 5 years, that will give you some relief. That 17 million, you're going to eat that with Icky because you already
yeah.
picked it up. So whether he played this year or whatever the case may be, it is what it is. But then you have a decision to make. If you do go that route and take a left tackle, um, with the first or second round pick, I'll say that first or second round pick, then you have a decision to make when Icky does come back. You know, is he going to beat out who replaced him? And
Hmm.
if not, what do you do to move on from Icky? Because you're
Okay.
not gonna pay him 17 million to be a backup.
Hey, okay, you know what? Let's hold off on that right there because I do got a slide about Icky. And for everybody watching on the shorts feed, I apologize. I didn't have my comment selected in my software here. So I see Mr. Big Walk, so Jay Issue and my sister over there who were commenting. I see your comments. If y'all want to comment again, I can put them up on the screen now. But Mr. Big Walk, what's going on with you? Say, what's up, fellas? 17 million, definitely a lot, especially for someone who's not playing. And I do agree with that because I just said the same thing. And I know Tony, you saying 17 million, but now it's 17 million plus we got to find somebody, to replace him. But we're gonna get into Icky in a second, though. I'm getting Icky in a second. Appreciate you, Mr. Big Walk.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let me get this off of the screen real quick. And of course, all right. So, Cade Mays, all right? Cade Mays. Now, this is the picture from the slide I had last week, but with some updated information on it. Okay. So, Spot Track, Over the Cap has his contract projection 3 year, 36 to $37.5 million, 12 to $12.5 million annually. I'm sorry, via Spot Track, my bad. Okay. Now, Tony, let me ask you this. All right. Given what K Mays has done for us, all right, in his what is this, his be like his third or fourth year? I think it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Because you gotta remember, at one point we cut K Mays and he went to the Giants.
Right.
And then we signed
Right.
him back off the Giants practice squad after after Austin Corbett had got hurt. All right. Now, my thing is this: do you think we go ahead and bring K Mays back, or would you consider drafting somebody in the upcoming draft?
I would bring K Mays back.
Okay.
Yeah, I would bring him back. He's his best position thus far in the NFL is at center.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce plays a lot better and more comfortable, in my opinion, and able to step up in the pocket with K Mays playing center.
Facts.
Since Bradley Bozeman left, nobody has played the center position better than K Mays. Why wouldn't you re-sign him? He's not going to break the bank. It's not like he's going to command um, top 10 center type money or even top 15. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would say 12 million, 12 million a year. That's not a lot of. I mean, for his position, let me say that
Okay.
for his
All right.
position, what he brings to the team. He knows your offense. Your quarterback is comfortable with him. He's beneficial for your quarterback. Why would you break up that continuity that they have with one another?
Okay. Facts. I agree. Now, I will say this. It all depends on what Carolina can do with the salary cap. Okay. And let me go ahead and bring that back up here real quick. All right. Now, they over the cap has updated their numbers for the Panthers salary cap. So Austin Corbett, him and DJ Wanham, both of their salaries have for this year have hit the dead money down here. Both of the voided years that they have on their contract. Austin Corbett, $4.4 million, DJ Wanham, 600 grand. Okay. So I'm sure all of us know what dead money is in NFL, but in case you don't, that is money that teams are paying players via avoided years in their contracts. They'll restructure a contract and they'll take some of their base salary and turn it into a signing bonus or whatever, but they'll spread that cap hit over some voided years in the contract at the end. Okay, so that player may not be coming back to the team, but the Panthers are still going to be paying that player a certain amount of money for however many voided years. So Austin Corbett has one, and DJ Wanham has one from as well. So both of those have hit the Panthers salary cap. Okay. So right now we are at 12.5 million. Okay. And let me get that back off the screen. Okay, so I'll put it like this. Now, for me, with Cade Mays, if the Panthers can make enough decisions to free up some salary cap, like you said, Tony, I think this is a no-brainer. You go ahead and bring Cade Mays back. All right. Now, if it's a situation where the Panthers, for whatever reason, can't agree on no restructures, they really feel that sentimental about some of these players and refuse to cut them, and let them walk. You know what I mean? Then I
Mhm.
say you probably take a look at somebody in the draft, because I think there are a few good options in this year's draft. Okay. But like I said, now that second part, what I was saying, I think that's on the the high extreme side of things. Okay, because you got to remember, even though this is football, these players play. We love them to death. It's still a business. Okay, as we like to say back home, it's still a business. All right, two D's, not two S's.
Mhm.
but but yeah, and you got to think at the end of the day, there are going to be some tough decisions that the Panthers will have to make. But I do feel that one of those decisions, regardless, is Cade Mays is going to be a Panther next year. All right. I don't think the Panthers let him walk. The only way that he walks is if kind of the same situation with Milton Williams. The Milton Williams didn't walk, but we offered him a contract. It was reported that he was going to be a Panther, and then New England, swooped in at the last second, was like, "Hey, bro, we got a whole nother G wagon over here, full of cash. So you need to go ahead and get that and come on up here." What's up, Tom?
Yeah, I wouldn't compare them two because that's two different situations. Like
Yeah, yeah.
Milton Williams was the best at his position in free agency, so he was going to
Mm-hmm.
command top dollars. I don't think teams out there checking for K Mays like that. I don't think K Mays is going to go out there and command top tier money at the center position. I just don't.
No, well, I'm not saying top tier money. I'm just saying for the simple fact that, just say if we're saying, "Hey, Cade, this is what we want to give you," and him and his people are like, "No, this is what we want." You know what I mean? It's kind of a disagreement in the compensation on Cade Mays end and the Panthers end. And I get, okay, yeah, it was two different situations, but I
Yeah,
was just
but I
compare.
mean that's just negotiations.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's going to start high. They're going to start low, and hopefully
Mm-hmm.
they can meet somewhere.
In the middle.
In between. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah
But
that's
yeah, but
that's just negotiations.
what I'm saying is, if those negotiations fall through, that's the only way I see that Panthers not bringing him back right now. I think that would be the only situation where Cade Mays is not a Panther next year. If
Mm,
whatever
got
reason
you.
the two sides can't come together and agree on something, I think that's going to be the only way this doesn't happen. But we'll see, because I always say, anything is possible, especially
What would
especially
you
with the Panthers.
What would you do? What would you do? Would you try to resign him, or would you let him go and draft somebody instead? Because right now there's two other centers
Mhm.
on the on the roster. That's Nick Samak and Austin Corbett.
Well, and to be honest with you, hell, they're both free agents.
Hmm.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
not Nick Sam. I'm thinking about Jake Curran. My bad. So we do got Nick Samick, if I'm not mistaken. Hold
Yeah.
on. Let me
Jake
see.
Curhan is guard. Jake
Yeah, yeah,
Curhan
yeah.
is a guard.
Yeah, I got the names and the faces mixed up. Let me
Oh, okay.
see. I don't see him on here. Anyway, I have to look that up and see what it is. But me personally, yes, I'm if I'm the Panthers, I'm making some room in the salary and I'm bringing Cade Mays back. Okay, um, bringing Cade Mays back, but on top of that, that's a good way to get me into the next slide here. On top of that, you got to deal with the depth that we have, okay, or that we had, because we currently right now don't have any depth. Well, not that much, because Josh Nyman is a free agent, Curhan is a free agent, Corbett's a free agent, and Brady Christensen is a free agent. Okay. Now, let me ask you this, Tony. So out of the 4 of these guys right here, all right, which one are you bringing back first? Which one of these guys is your top priority?
That's a good question. Right now, as it stands today, uh,
Come on.
I would have to say Josh Neiman because he is a swing tackle.
Mhm.
And if you need somebody going into the next season, if they choose to go with Josh Neiman, I mean, he's there, he's serviceable. How much of a service to you can he be over an
Mm,
extensive period of time? Because I don't think, me personally, I don't think Icky is back within the first 6 weeks. I
mhm,
believe he's gonna start the season on the pup list. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? So
Facts.
and because your left tackle, like I said, plays such a integral part of the offensive line. That's like the arguably the second most important position in football outside of the quarterback. We
Ironside.
know we have to protect Bryce Young blindside.
Mhm.
If you want to continue to see him grow, build off of 2025 and see this team progress with your, franchise quarterback, that blind side, that left tackle position has to be addressed. It just has to be.
Facts. Okay. All right, facts. Now, for me, um, it's kind of like a 1A and 1B. All right. Brady Christensen and Josh Neiman. And me personally, I think I'm bringing back Brady
Mm,
Christensen first because of his versatility. I mean, he can play across damn near the entire offensive line. He can play right tackle, right guard, left guard, and center. And he had a biceps injury
right.
last year that took him out, and we all saw how Austin Corbett came back this year from a similar injury, and was able to, make it through the whole season. So I'm hoping that will be the situation with Brady Christensen this year as well. All right. And Josh Neiman and Tony, I got to echo everything you said. The blind side, one of the most important positions on the offensive line. Um, like next to quarterback, period. We gotta bring him back for, if at the very least, depth pieces, or a depth piece for whoever they may consider bringing in, if they bring somebody in. Okay. But
Hmm.
now, if the Panthers, again, like I said, I think the Panthers will be clearing up a bunch of cap space and be able to do what they got to do. But at the very least, okay, the very least, if your last option, you do have pieces right here that you can bring back. You can bring these guys back and be able to go out
Yeah.
there, and function. You get what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I always like to say, don't ever, look past something. Don't ever, be like, well, there's no way this is going to happen. There's no way that's going to happen. All right, because that'll be the very
Right.
instance that it does happen. All right. So at the very least, you got options here, on the offensive line. Austin Corbett. Now, I don't know about Austin Corbett. Okay. Do I think the Panthers bring him? I'm not gonna lie. If I'm going off the tape between him and Curhan last year, I'm bringing back Curhan if we bring back Cade Mays. Okay. Because now Curhan was a
Right.
guard, but I think he looked a lot better in the games that he played at guard than most of the season for Austin Corbett. Especially I think it was the Green Bay game where he started that game. And he did a
Right.
damn good job that game. Now, where Austin Corbett might have the edge on him is because Austin Corbett can also play center, you know. And I know Dave and Dan, they're all about, having flexibility, in multiple positions. Well, flexibility at players being able to play multiple positions across this offensive line. So that would factor in as well. But to be honest with you, even if they brought back all four of these guys, okay, I don't see any of them being brought back on more than a 1 or 2 year deal. So if the Panthers do bring them back, they're not going to break the bank on any of these guys. Okay, because Josh Nijman has just been a depth piece. Okay, Curhan was I think he was hell, he was on the practice squad for a minute, if I'm not mistaken. You know, Austin
Yeah,
Corbett,
I believe so.
Austin Corbett, I don't know if anybody's gonna be knocking his door down, trying to get him to come sign with another team. And no knock on Austin Corbett, okay? No knock on Austin Corbett. I appreciate everything he's done, while he's been here. And I'm just talking about as far as, the Panthers being able to re-sign him at a reasonable price. And then you got Brady Christensen. Okay. He's got injury concerns. Okay. He has been out the past 2 seasons. All right, for most of the past 2 seasons. Okay. So you got to
Yeah,
think
that's
about
true.
that too. The Panthers could sign all 4 of these guys back for fairly cheap. So, at the bare minimum, the Panthers could go in the next off season with a workable offensive line. Like I said, if you didn't draft anybody or if you don't bring anybody in free agency, yes, our biggest question would be left tackle. But you could go out there and field a team to make a push at the very least. All right. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Hold on. Let me see. Nick says get Brady low and cut Curhan. I got you. Jay Issue, what's going on? So when was the last time we had 100 million in cap space? I'm curious. I don't know. Maybe in 1995, when they were signing players.
Yeah,
That's a good question. Yeah. I
Yeah,
got to
that
look
is a
that
good
up.
question.
Yeah, I gotta look that up. I do not know. Yeah, damn. Let me see. Hey, what's up, sweetheart? Nella's Laser and Design. How you doing? Say, I know I'm late, but is that Tony's face I see? Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am. That is
because
my cousin
that's
Tony.
he is I. He is I.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Hey, again, and then everybody that's joined, I thank you. I appreciate you. And like I said before, I had forgot to turn on the comment settings in the shorts feed if you're watching. You can comment and I can see it now and I can get it up on the screen. All right. Okay, bet. But yeah, I do think that at least at the very minimum, 2 of these 4 will be brought back. Okay, and I do believe that's going to be Brady Christensen and Josh Nijman. Now, what they do with Curhan and Corbett, for me and my thinking, I don't know yet. I don't know yet, but I do believe Christensen and Nijman will be brought back. All right.
Okay.
Let me see. JSU said, "Boy, we stay broke with 2 or 3 stars, a roster, and can't bring other talent to get us over the hump." Well, I mean, shoot. Okay, look at New England for instance. I saw this in the article earlier. Now they made a couple big splashes, in free agency, but look at the people that they brought in who made a big splash and got paid. Not even gonna say peanuts, but damn sure didn't get paid like that. Caleb Von Chason, who we had here and let go. He signed a 1-year, $3 million deal, and old boy went up there and balled out. Okay. The linebacker, what's a man named Tonga? I think his name, Tonga, the dude with the hair. He had a decent season up there,
Yeah, I
pretty
think
good
that's
season.
right.
And the cornerback, I think his last name is Hamilton. I forgot how much they said they paid him, but he ended up with a career high in interceptions this year. You know what I mean? So, and then the crazy thing is, New England still has like upwards of 70-80 million dollars in cap space.
Yeah, I think they number 2 on the list. I think they got like
Hmm. Yeah.
84 million, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken.
Yeah. So they brought in key pieces, pay good money for them, but they also brought in other pieces, but were able to put them in positions to be able to go out there, and succeed. It's something that I wish the Panthers would learn how to do here in a hurry, but That's yet to be seen. So we'll have to wait. But I agree with you though, Jay. It does feel that way a lot of times though. All right, let's go ahead and move on. All right, so same slide that I had up here last week. Okay, I got it again for Tony. Okay, so Icky, he ruptured his patella tendon. All right. Now, what do you think is going to happen? Or no, hold on, let me rephrase that. Okay. If you were the Panthers, okay, if you were the Carolina Panthers, would you go out and just put like a temporary band-aid on this and hope and pray that Icky comes back from this, 110%, and is ready to go the next year? Because you're paying him next year regardless. Okay. You're paying this coming up year regardless. Or do you go out here and put something together, put a plan together where if Icky doesn't come back 100%, he doesn't look like the same left tackle that he did before the injury, you got an option B.
Mm. Well, like I said earlier, you don't want to just throw a band-aid out just because now you're gambling. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I mean, these are questions, these are conversations that they're going to have in the front office. I know they're probably already having them. You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you look at the quote unquote success the team had this year, making it to the playoff, a little progression in Bryce, if you will, a little progression in the offense as a whole. If you want to continue that progression, you're gonna have to do more than just throw a band-aid at it. Because what if that band-aid don't hold up? You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
What if that band-aid don't hold up? I mean,
Facts.
these are the questions that they are gonna have to deal with, and it's all gonna come down to who's available in free agency. Is there a free agent that's worth their salt, that's even um worth taking or throwing money at to get them here? And then you got
Mhm.
to look, that's for the short term. Then what is the long term plan at that position? You know what I'm saying? Because you
Facts.
you have to think past more than just hoping. Excuse me. You have
Mhm.
to think past more than just hoping that Ick is going to return and hoping for a wing on a wing and a prayer that he's 100%. He's not going to be 100%. Let's just keep it real. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And a lot of people wasn't happy with Icky play before he got hurt. So we gotta be real and be honest about that.
Yeah.
So these are the kind of conversation and question. These are the kind of questions that's definitely going to come up in conversation that Dave Canales, Dan Morgan, Brent Tillis, the scouting department, all those guys are going to that they're going to discuss and have
Mhm.
to work out what's best for the team. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, well, so let me ask you this also, and everybody in the chat as well. How have y'all felt about Icky's play in his first 4 years? Okay. Because it seemed like he was on the way to getting, well, the Panthers picked up his fifth year option. Okay. So it wasn't like they were, how am I say this? Because I can't think for them. But if Icky was this all world left tackle, you probably would have skipped that fifth year option and just went ahead and gave him a contract extension. Or maybe they were waiting, they went ahead and picked it up and were waiting until the off season to go ahead and negotiate something. Maybe that's what it was. But then now he gets hurt and now we're in this situation. Okay. Now me personally, and I think let me see.
Yeah.
Poppin says, I'm cool with his play because he's improving. And I was gonna say that. Now mind you, he started off a little shaky. You know, he got baptized his first game by Myles Garrett. Okay. But what you expect? Myles Garrett, rookie left tackle. He gonna do that damn near all of them. I would say he started off as a much better run blocker, you know, than a pass blocker. But like Poppin says, I think he has improved from year to year to year. Okay. Um, I think instead of seeing Icky have like a stretch of bad games, he might have one here, and then you don't hear nothing from him, for 4 or 5 games in a row as far as like him getting beat or this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
Now last year, not 2025, but 2024, a bit of a different story because it was in my opinion, it was just all hell broke loose. You know what I mean? It was like you get a play, um, Taylor Moton would get beat, it could get beat on the same play. But it would just seem like, Icky's guy would get there first, and then Taylor
Right.
Moton guy would finish it up. So it was just it was bad all around, in 2024. But I don't know. But I'm cool with this play, okay? But I'm also with him getting hurt. With him getting hurt, I'm not going to sit here and be like, okay, cool. It's going to be 100% guarantee that he comes back next season and is just as good as or hell, the season after that, or just as good as he was and possibly better. All right, what you think, Cuz?
Right. Look, he that the first 3 or 4 weeks, his rookie season, he got baptized. He was getting beat left and right, didn't look good. Um, he cleaned up some things. I thought he finished the year on a good note. His sophomore season, I think, was his best season. Last year, or his third. Last year was his third season, correct? Was it?
Yeah. No, last year was his
Last year was his fourth.
fourth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's
Okay,
going into year
his
five
third
now.
season. Yeah, his third season, I thought he regressed. I thought he started looking like he looked his rookie season. Fourth year, it was so. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I think if I'm not mistaken, did he start off the season rocky
This past
this fourth
season,
year? This
the
year?
fourth.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he started off this season kind of rocky, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, his 4 years to me, he just been average.
Okay, I
He
got you.
just been average. He hasn't been what I thought he would be. I don't think he's even met his own expectations. Um, he's at that point now with this kind of injury. You don't want to say that he's injury prone because this is the first significant injury that he's had where he has missed significant time. But
Mm-hmm.
this isn't no easy injury to come back for, especially for
Facts.
offensive lineman, especially for a tackle. You
Mm-hmm.
playing out there on the island, and you got these 250, 270 pound defensive ends coming at you, and you got to drop anchor. You got to put your feet in the ground, and you got to withstand this bull rush, or
Mm-hmm.
all this that's coming at you. That's asking a lot for him.
Yeah.
So again, these are the things that they're going to have to talk about. I know he's a hometown boy. He's from Charlotte, went to NC State. Cool. All that's cool. But like you said, at the end of the day, this is a business. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And it's not about doing what's best for Icky. It's about doing what's best for the Carolina Panthers. So they're going to have those, or I'm pretty sure they are having those discussions. I'm just curious to see how free agency and the draft plays out, especially in the first 2 or 3 rounds.
Okay, I got you. Let me see. Mr. Hunky Dory, what's going on with you, big dog?
Mr.
He
Hunky Dory,
says,
what's up?
keep Icky on IR U2P, still draft Moulton replacement, and Icky fill in to gain experience right off the bat. Throw the guy in the fire. LOL. You know what, Mr. Hunky Dory? I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Because
Oh,
right here,
when I said it, when I said it, you was tripping on me the other night when we were
no,
on the phone. When I was talking about
no.
drafting Taylor Moton's replacement, you was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, it's time, dog. It's time."
Hold on. I remember a totally different conversation. I remember us agreeing on that. I
Did
remember,
we?
yeah, I remember us. Okay, and I tell you what, because this is what I was saying. Now let me look at the Now these are according to Over the Cap, the unrestricted free agents at left tackle. Okay,
Hey,
nobody on
check
this.
re,
Hmm?
real quick. Check your WhatsApp messages.
Okay, but nobody on this list. Hold on one second, y'all. I got you. I got you. Nobody on this list for me really like stands out. Okay. Like you
Mm-hmm.
got Cam Robinson, Trevor Penning, DJ Humphreys, I mean, just a bunch. They got Yash Nyman on this list, which, like I said, the Panthers will probably bring back. Maybe maybe a Rasheed Walker, from the Packers. Okay. But but back to Icky though. Um, and that's why I was asking you the question about the draft the other day. You know, if somebody say in the first round, okay, and again, this all depends on what we do in free agency as well. Okay. If the Panthers go out there and find a solution at edge, all right, if they go out there and pick up somebody in free agency at linebacker, and I'm just saying this for them potentially freeing up, the number 19 pick. All right. And I know I put out a few shorts about this, and I've gotten a lot of mixed comments and reactions and opinions on this. But I was asking, you know, if there is somebody up there, first round talent that can potentially play left or right tackle. That's what I was asking you about Spencer Fanu. Now, mind you, I
Mm-hmm.
highly doubt he's gonna fall to number 19 in the draft. But
He won't be there.
yeah, but on PFF right now, 9 times out of 10, he's there. So I usually grab him. Okay. But if there's somebody, because the left tackle spot is not completely foreign to him. He had 500 snaps there back in 2023, I think was his freshman year. You know, so do you think the
Yes,
Panthers
freshman year.
would be willing to draft somebody? Okay, and they get the feeling like they can't play both left and right tackle. And just like Mr. Hunky Dory said, and like you saying, you get them in here and you have them fill in for Icky this year. Okay. If Icky comes back, great. And then you got somebody to throw into the fold when Taylor Moton goes. You know what I mean? Or it be
Mm-hmm.
situation where, if Icky comes back and Icky doesn't, get back to normal, you got somebody who hopefully potentially has got enough experience at that left tackle spot that he can fill in on a more permanent basis, and then you go do something, the next season, at right tackle.
I tell you what would be ideal to me, and this is contingent on everything being 100% with Icky when he does come back. If if Spencer Fano is there at 19 and you draft him, and he comes in and he plays left tackle,
Uh-huh.
and he plays left tackle better than any year that Icky has played it.
Mm-hmm.
When Icky does come back fully healthy, you kick Icky over to right tackle. You leave Spencer Fano at left tackle.
Mm. Okay. What you think Icky could make the transition to left tackle? I'm sorry, right tackle. My bad.
I don't know, but I mean, there's a lot of habits. Technique is different. I mean, it's not as easy as people think because two tackle positions.
Mm-hmm.
But your stance, your reads, everything is different. So you basically have to reprogram your muscle memory at the right tackle position. Because now all you've been playing is left tackle.
True.
All your muscle memory is based off playing left tackle. But with the off season, um, with the off season of preparation, not something that he could, not something I'll say that he will be excellent at or excel at, thrown in the middle of the season or, without any time to work at that position. But if he had a full off season,
Mm-hmm.
I think he would be okay over there. I would trust him more at right tackle than I do at left tackle.
Okay, I got you. All right,
Yeah.
cool beans.
Cause cause right now I don't, and this was before the injury.
Gotcha.
I didn't see Icky as being um the cornerstone franchise left tackle.
Okay, I got you. I got you. All right, cool beans. Hold on, let me see. Bobby, everything is reversed. That's why Moten said he couldn't play left tackle because he right-handed. Gotcha. 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 Okay, I got you.
Hmm.
And what's good with you, Bobby Digital? All right. Let me ask this before I move on. Okay. How do you feel about the rest of the starters, on the O line? Um Damian Lewis, Robert Hunt, Taylor Moton. Okay. Any concerns with any of these guys? Because they're all still under contract. Or you think this just season starts, they be ready to go and be back to what we were doing?
Yeah, Damian Lewis and Robert Hunt are solid. I'm not
Okay.
worried about them. I know Damian Hunt had that freak injury. He's definitely going to have time to nurse that injury back to full strength, and I believe he'll be ready by the time the OTAs and training camp start. It's imperative that we keep the interior of the offensive line solidified. That's why it should be of major importance to bring K Mays back. Because when you got K Mays, Damon Lewis on the left side, Robert Hunt on the right side, you got a hell of a three-man tandem at the interior of the offensive line. You know what I
True.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Facts.
um I think they're good. With Taylor Moton, Taylor Moton is definitely not who Taylor Moton was his first year or two.
Mm-hmm.
He don't move the same. He don't have that same um people mover in him. I know he's dealt with some injuries here and there, but he's always been steady, been rock solid for us. I think eventually he's going to be a cap casualty. You know what I'm saying? It's not so much about his performance. I think because they've been kicking his um, extension or contract down the road year after year after year,
Mm-hmm.
that it's eventually going to catch up with them, and they're going to want to get younger. You know what I'm saying? It's a young man's game. you
This
know,
is true.
appreciate them being serviceable, but like you said, sometimes you look out there, only reason we ain't talking about Taylor Moton is because Icky done did something just as terrible on the same damn play. We done sat and watched film and be like, oh, I see why they ain't called Taylor Moton now, because Icky looked just as damn bad. So, you know what I'm saying? So he could thank Icky for keeping the smoke off his ass. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times. Because there was times where he definitely deserved it. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's why I say I just think they need to get younger at that position. Um when they first gave him a contract extension, I think he was making like 16 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I know he loves the Carolina and wants to be here, but okay, well, at what cost? Because I don't see his salary going up. I see a reduction in his salary coming, and is he willing to take it, whatever it may be? I just don't think it's going to be at what it is right now.
You talking about Taylor Moton, right?
Yeah, Taylor
Yeah.
Moton.
Okay, so Bobby Digital, he said, so the question would be of the three, Moulton, Hunt, and Richardson, who would be the first to go? Let's see, Moulton, Hunt, Richardson. Richardson.
So it's going to be
Moulton, Hunt, and
Richardson.
Richardson.
Who's Richardson?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's what I was thinking. Bobby Digital, Richardson, you
Grady
talking about?
Christensen?
Oh, Christensen. Or maybe talking about Damian Lewis. I don't know. But well, if I hold on, let me see.
Yeah,
Okay, now.
I don't even care who. I don't care who name that third name is Moton.
Yeah, yeah. It would have to be Moulton. It would
He
definitely have
can
to
be
be
said
Moulton.
entertainer. I'm getting rid of Moton.
Now he could be said to entertain.
I'm just saying.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just
He
saying.
said, "Hey, what's up, J Ball? How you doing, man?" Jay Issue said, "Tony, that is true." Okay, Bobby said, "My bad, Lewis." Okay, oh yeah, okay, yeah, we in agreement.
Yeah,
Moulton. It would have to be Moulton. Taylor
yeah.
Moulton. Yeah, absolutely, Taylor Moulton. Okay, but yeah, man. Let me see. Well,
Because
that's
right now, Taylor Moton, he's not scheduled to be a free agent to 2028.
mm,
He has a dead cap of 35 million this year.
mm,
He has a cap hit of 21 million, which is almost 7% um of the Panthers salary cap.
and boy, yeah, buddy,
Yeah.
yeah, because they can't do anything with him this year, and save any money. If they would,
Yeah.
he gonna be here for 2026. Now 2027,
But
they do have a bit of an out. They could cut him and
yeah.
save 14 million.
So
So,
Derek Brown could be restructured, Robert Hunt could be restructured,
mm-hmm,
JC Horn can be restructured. He's not a free agent to 2030.
yeah,
Trevor Morin can be restructured. He's not a free agent to 2028. Like I said, that 12 million, I'm not even worried about that. It's gonna be some
mm-hmm,
restructures done. They're gonna
mm-hmm,
free up some cap space, and yeah, we're
yeah.
gonna be good. We're
Now
gonna
my
be
only
good.
thing is with those restructures. So those restructures add void years to the end of the contract. I wonder if it's going to be a situation like they you would think JC probably get a restructure. Derek Brown might get a restructure because these are guys that if they keep on doing how they've been doing, even when it gets to the end of their next contract, they're going to want to do something to bring these guys back. Just like Taylor Moton. You know what I mean? So, and that's my thought process on it. If you're going to restructure somebody, because I know there are a lot of potential players that can get restructured, but I don't think that you restructure all of them. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, when you do restructures, you have to add the void years onto the end of the contracts. Or because like I said, they've already got their extensions. JC Horn.
Well, every
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Tom.
no, go ahead, go ahead. My bad.
No,
I
you
forgot
straight.
there's
Go
a
ahead.
delay.
Oh, and I'm sorry. You good? Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say every contract has void years in them. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Every contract does. I'm just reading off, the first 4 or 5 that has enough room in their contract they can be restructured that
mm.
can offer some cap room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
And I mean, everybody does it. Every team does it. Everybody do it every year. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, I mean, hell, Taylor Moton has been restructured. This is like his third or fourth year.
Yeah.
That 34th time that he's been restructured, so it can be done.
Yeah. Oh no,
It can be done. Yeah.
I know it can be done, but I guess for me, I'm thinking about, down the road, like how many would they be willing to restructure, and you get 3, 4 years from now, or, to the end of their contracts, and you got all, depending on how much they would put in the restructures, how much they would take out and turn into, like a
Hmm.
signing bonus, and then move it down to the end of the contract, and like they call it kicking the can, basically. How much of that are you willing to push off on those later years, and then you get into those
Yeah.
years, and then we have we're having contract caps issues in those years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, but mm-mm. I'm not going to think that that's that old way of thinking of
Hmm.
the Marty Herney and those guys. Listen, Brent Tillis a wizard when it comes to that cap space. I'm not even worried about that. So
Oh, oh.
I'm just anxious to see who it is, how
Mhm.
much cap space is created to go out and sign these free agents and tackle the draft. That's all.
So basically,
It just
what you saying, in the words of the Clips and Pharrell, you're saying, "God damn, it's a new day."
it's a new day. It's a new day.
Boy,
Yeah.
hey, real quick. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Hunky Dory, as always, for gifting 20 memberships. Okay. I appreciate you as
Oh
always. And for
wow.
everybody who just got a membership, welcome to the front office. Thank you, Mr. Hunky Dory. I appreciate it as always, love and support. And all of y'all, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay.
Yeah,
As
for
always,
real.
my guy, Mr. Hunky Dory. Well, let me tell you, you all right with me. Appreciate you. Let me see. D Nice and Moulton got a 2-year extension. He won't be restructured. Maybe extend Lewis a year or two. Oh yeah, no, I'm not worried about Moulton. I don't think Moulton's gonna get restructured. But you got Hunt, you got Derek Brown, you got JC Horn, if I'm not mistaken, Trayvon Merrick. So there is some room for them to do some restructures and make some money. But, well, I'm sorry, make up some cap space. My thing is, I guess, like I said, I'm just looking at it down the line, and and like Tony said, it might be a situation now. You know, I guess I'm still in that old thinking, like, okay, we doing this, but we gotta look in the future. And right now, a lot of these teams are just like, screw the future. We gotta get this crap done now. You know what I mean? And sometimes they're taking that. Well, we'll worry
Hmm.
about that when time gets here. We can't worry about it because we got issues we got to fix now. You know, could it be? Could it be that we are getting? And I'm not saying we're there. I'm not saying we're close. But could it be that we're getting to a position, as a team, where the Panthers are like, all right, we're going to be willing to take more chances because we need to do things now. I still think we're in sort of a of a rebuild, but could we be, working our way out of that, with the if they do kind of get a little radical, with these extensions and maybe restructures or whatever. I'm sorry, the restructures, not extension.
See, you do. What was the question again? Do I think we can get in some trouble?
No, 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 no. I'm saying, do you think we're getting out of that old way of thinking? Like I was saying, like, you're thinking about the future. As far as the restructures and adding the void years. You think we're getting more so towards,
Mhm.
what? Screw them void years. We got to do some stuff right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I listen. It's hard. It's hard to say. It's hard to say because so many factors go into these decisions about each and every player each season. So what I will say that I do trust Brent Tillis to make smart decisions. I think the Panthers will make the right decisions. So
Hmm.
far, since those three have been working together the past 2 years, they have made some very solid decisions. Even with trading on draft day and getting draft compensation back and being put in better positions, getting rid of players
Mm-hmm.
and somehow getting a fourth round pick for Mingo and the fourth and fifth for
Boy,
not Tommy Trump, but Adam
Adam
Thielen.
Thielen. Yeah,
Like we we wasn't used to all this.
this
So
is true.
they are establishing a track record that this front office knows what they're doing. And like I said, I just want to see how it all plays out, especially this off season with the cap number being so low. What are they
Mm-hmm.
going to do? What are they going to do to create some flexibility, some cap room, so they can tackle free agency and handle the draft?
Hey, and real quick, and I'm gonna come back to this comment right here. Let me see. Prowling veteran said, "Yep." The Balmer said, said it will JC Hunt and Merrick. Got you. He said, can extend
Mhm.
Lewis, free up $17 million. Okay. Rock Jones, what's good? He said, Tone looking clean and fresh. To keep pounding, fellas. What's
Fresh
good?
as I me is, you understand me?
Hey,
Nah,
but
let me
back to
stop.
but back to Bobby Digital. He said, remember Tiller said he don't like doing restructures. Okay, bet. So just think about this, y'all. Let me pull up over the cap back up here for everybody. All right. And let me get this off screen for a hot second. Now, okay, if that holds true, and Tillis doesn't like doing restructures, all right, the only way that we're going to free up some cap space is to cut a few people. All right, right now we're sitting at 12.5 according to over the cap. If I'm not mistaken, Spot Track has it a little bit less than that.
And
But
9.8. Yeah,
yeah, they're
9.8 on
always
spot
about
track.
$3 million off so far this offseason. Okay, so if just say we don't go the restructure route, let me see. And I know who was Nick said that you can extend Lewis and free up 17 million. Okay. Let me see. So if we go down and we got potential players that can save us, a good chunk of money. All right, Damian Lewis is not going to happen. Okay, so just think about Ashawn Robinson here, and I know I said this before. Ashawn Robinson could be a cap casualty. Okay, um, Patrick Jones. All right, now mind you, he got hurt and was probably a little less than midway through the season, and he was out for the remainder of the year. And he only signed like a 2-year deal. So do the Panthers bring him back? Maybe, maybe not. But just say for the sake of this that they don't. Okay. Now, mind you, Bobby Brown is another one. Again, like I said, if they cut Bobby Brown, I'm going down to the Bank of America Stadium and flip over everything that I can grab and pick up. Okay, I know it ain't gonna be much out there because it's the off season, but I'm a fan of Bobby Brown, and I think that they underutilized him massively this past season, massively. And I think that Mike
Facts.
is there. You go.
Facts.
Yeah, he was underutilized massively this offseason. I'm gonna throw this on here just for the sake of it, but I hope it doesn't happen. Tommy Tremble. I like Tommy Tremble as well. Okay, I think he has developed nicely since he was a rookie. But if they don't bring him back, I understand. Okay, I understand it. All right. Mike
The
Jack,
best
absolutely
that
not.
ain't we got.
Absolutely not. Now if they cut Mike Jack, I think I break into the stadium and steal all the gear out of the team store. But but yeah, everybody else on this list would be minimal gains or whatever. So, those four moves right there would get you to $38 million in cap space, according to over the cap here. All right. Um, would that be enough? Well, it probably would be enough to bring in some decent free agents because you gotta think about what we did last year with $25 million. I think that's about what we had going in the last offseason. And the Panthers went, mind you, they were going out. They made a big push for Milton Williams, was going to sign him to damn near $100 million contract, but the Patriots stepped
Mhm.
in and that didn't work out, you know. But now, mind you, if the Panthers, want to make a big of a splash as a lot of the fan base wants them to. You know what I mean? I think that even though Tiller said he doesn't like doing restructures, it's probably going to be at least one. Because the Panthers got to free up some cap space, and I don't think that all of these people that I see right here that you see right here that I've cut, I don't think all these people are going to get cut. Okay, um, some of them, yes, all of them, I highly doubt it. Highly, highly doubt it. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, let me get back to a couple comments here. Marcos Cash, what's going on with you, man? How you doing? He said, "What's up,
What's up,
Panther Nation?"
Marcos?
See, D Nice says they have done restructuring, but not in an extensive amount. They can extend a few guys and get 30 plus million. Okay, bet.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis has been the most consistent lineman. Facts. Robinson needs to have an extension, and he will take up Turk money for next year. Turk will be cut year 3. Okay, gotcha. Now for me, the jury is still out on I said Tuck. I meant Turk. The jury is still out on Turk Wharton. The jury is still out on him for me. I hope and pray that he comes back this season and can stay injury free and make an impact. You know what I mean? Because I think
Yeah.
the injuries, severely derailed him this season. Because if you go back and look at his tape in Kansas City, my man was he was putting in work. It wasn't like he was just out there running around not doing anything. Turk Wharton has some very good tape, and I think that's why the Panthers brought him in here. But it just hasn't worked out so far this season, this past season. But hopefully they can turn that around next year. All right. Because they did bring him in on a 3-year, $54 million contract. They said you can thank
Yeah,
Evero for
Turk
that.
Warren
Yeah.
he has 2 years and $28.8 million left on his
Okay.
contract. He's a free agent in 2028.
I said Trimble needs an extension too and keep. He's the best tight end right now. Okay. All right. And I guess that's an option for a lot of these guys too. You can rework some extensions and you get that first year of that contract, very team friendly, and you move on from there. Okay. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Tillis will do restructure, just won't go crazy. Okay, gotcha. Let me see. Tommy has heart and will. Would hate to lose him. I got you. And you got to think
Exactly.
about this
Yeah.
also. Just like if I'm not mistaken, Robert Hunt, Derek Brown, Trayvon Merrick, if they do restructures, I think they have to add 3 voided years. But J.C. Horn, right now, if he does a restructure, this is according to Over the Cap, they can get away with just two voided years. Okay. So, like I
Mm.
said, for me in my brain and thinking in the future, that's something to look at.
And when you look at Bobby Brown contract right now, his dead cap hit, if released, is only 2.7 million. If he's traded, is zero. He has 2
Mm,
years and 14 million left on his contract. 7 million a year. Yeah, he good. He ain't gonna be touched.
okay, I got you.
He ain't gonna be touched.
D Nice said Evero misused Turk too. Hey, let me tell you, that's let me hey, we
Well,
gonna get into that in
Turk couldn't
another
stay
video.
healthy.
True.
Turk couldn't stay healthy. In and out of the lineup, there was no consistency um in him for this first year. So hopefully um all that gets worked out and he comes back in his second year and there's more consistency to his game. Don't forget Patrick Jones will also be back
Mm-hmm.
next year, and he only making 6.5 million. He's a
True.
free agent in 2027. So he's coming back on the cheap. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And arguably he was your best pass rushing defensive end before he got hurt.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, bet. Cool beans. All right. Well, cuz to be honest with you, I'm gonna keep it short today. That's about all I got. because I got to go in
Okay.
here and get ready to go on down to good old Rock of the Hill, South Carolina. The Lake Norman Volleyball Club. You know, my son James is playing with them. They got a tournament down there this weekend. You know, thank God it's close to home. I had to go to Myrtle Beach 2 weekends ago. You know, which worked out. You know, I went home, saw my mom, my dad, and my sister. And but I was only there for like
Right.
3 hours, and I had to go right back to Myrtle Beach. But yeah. So you know, hey Tony, I've now you know come to the terms. You know, I can call myself a volleyball dad. Oh
That's
man,
deep.
I told you the other day.
That's deep.
I said, yo, I said, you a volleyball mom. I said, I'm a volleyball dad. I said that wasn't in my in the tarot cards for me. But
Did not have it on my bingo card.
you know, but let me tell you, hey, he's getting better and better, and he really enjoys it, and he really likes it. So you know, I'm happy for him. But before I go, like I said, all of y'all out there, just say a quick prayer and give you know some support for the Lake Norman Volleyball Club today and tomorrow. All right. But yeah, like I said, I had a short one today. I appreciate you joining me. Like I said, we talk about the offensive line here. Um, a lot of decisions that the Panthers need to make on the offensive line, and I think it is going to be very interesting. Now, mind you, I think a lot of it is going to be either um re-signings or in the draft. No, I'm sorry, re-signing the players that were on the team last year or the draft. I don't see a whole lot out there in free agency that makes me just want to jump out of this chair and be like, "Ooh, Carolina, go sign that person," or you know, "Ooh, Carolina, go sign that person." You know what I mean? So I think they'll bring
Right.
quite a few players
Right.
back and potentially do something in the draft. You know, like I said, now I've gotten a lot of mixed comments, you know, about my last mock draft. Like I said, I took Spencer Fano in at number 19. And like we both agree, he's not gonna be there at 19, you know. But while he is there now in PFF, you know, I'm gonna take him. My thought process on the situation is you bring in, if you draft somebody, bring in somebody that could potentially play both left and right tackle. Like I said, if Icky is out, you got somebody to go there. And hopefully Icky comes back, he's 120%, and he's back to his normal self and potentially better. You know, then when Taylor Moton is on his last hoorah, you switch that person back over to right tackle, and then you got your future somewhat set over there as well. All right. So, but we'll see.
Throw a
Um,
name out there for just throw a name out there for Panther Nation to keep an eye on.
mhm.
Watch keep an eye out on Monroe Freeland, left
Okay.
tackle out of Georgia.
Monroe Freeland. I got you. All right, bet. D Nice said true, but when he was out there, he was used as a run stopper. Well, this ain't his game. Brown should be in on first and second down. Oh, go by Brown. I got you.
Yeah, exactly. Don't
Teddy
don't don't get
Riley.
me started on that defensive line
Hey,
and them
what
weak
what what
views.
well look at here. If I get a if I get another Saturday here where I'm not traveling roads, I'm gonna have you back on that defensive line episode because I know that's you know as past the trenches. You know, I got you on the offensive line. I gotta bring you back for the defensive line. Let me
Jesus wept.
see.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, Michael Dennis says, I agree. Monroe would be great. Okay, facts. All right, cool. All right. Well, Tone, anything else you want to say before we get out of here, cuz?
Nah, man. Listen, I'm just waiting for the combine next week. Um, you know, look definitely looking at the trenches as always, but
Mm-hmm.
looking at the skill positions too. This is a deep wide receiver class, a deep cornerback and safety class. Um, hit and miss. I mean, well, not hit and miss, but it's kind of thin at edge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, kind of thin offensive tackles. You know, when you talking about first, second round
Mm-hmm.
grades, quarterbacks basically non-existent. I think there's one, maybe two. I think Ty Simpson will go in the first round, but I don't think you'll see any other quarterbacks besides Ty Simpson and Fernando Mendoza go in
Yeah.
the first round. But yeah, there's definitely plenty of corners, safeties. There's definitely some depth at linebacker this year as well. I know a lot of people, especially Panther Nation, been talking about Jack Galsey, whatever
Mm-hmm.
his name is, out of Cincinnati. But keep an eye out on Jeremiah Trott out of Missouri. You talking about a
Okay.
downhill thumper? Yes. He got exactly what you need. If you remember, his dad was Jeremiah Trott
Trotter.
Sr.
Yeah.
that played for
Mm-hmm.
the Eagles. But
Okay.
yeah, the linebacker definitely has some depth this year.
Let me tell you, whoever they bring in at that linebacker spot, I just hope they got some decent coverage skills because Evero in his zone is going to be prevalent. 90% of the season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
So,
have you have to the way that the NFL has evolved over the
mhm,
last few years, and then you look at this year, there was a lot of 12 and a lot of 13 personnel being used by teams utilizing their tight ends as weapons. So you got to have somebody with some size and some coverage skills. That's why I like Jacob Rodriguez out of
mhm,
Texas Tech, and also another linebacker people keep the eye on is Landon Barton out of Utah. 6'4", 250 pounds, play off ball linebacker,
mhm.
kind of and kind of puts me in the mind of a Brian Urlacher type linebacker with size, but he definitely has better coverage skills. So keep an eye on Landon Barton out of Utah.
Okay. All right. Bet. All right. Couch Scout Extraordinaire is back in the building, y'all. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
So again, everybody, I appreciate y'all for joining. Thank you for all the comments, all the great questions. Mr. Hunky Dory, as always, my friend, thank you for the 20 gifted memberships. And to all those that were gifted, welcome to the front office. Thank you everybody again for all the love and support. I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. All right. Steadily on my way to my goal of 2,000 subscribers. And I appreciate all the love and support. As always, Panther Nation, I'm gonna leave y'all with three things. Number one, y'all be good. Number two, y'all be safe. And number three, as always, Panther Nation, keep pounding, man. We'll see you.